Here we go, bit of a change today. We've got a herd winter racing. It's Saturday in the UK, Saturday the 28th of Feb. We've got 50 odd riders. It's an open category, and this is just a bit of a prep race before we have stage three of the Zwift Games tomorrow on Monday. So open category, it's got some A races, B races, C, D, E. It's 1 watt to 6 watts a kilo. Goodness me, if there's anyone pushing 6 watts a kilo consistently on here, I am. I will be at the back of the queue. Uh, Opening gambit there. First, what have we got? 0.1, 0.2 of a mile. First minute, okay, just up at the front. They all start quick. I was wanting this not to it is a race, but my head wasn't really thinking it's a race because it's not a ZRS uh, competitive race as such. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, let's just cruise along. Uh, let's kind of ignore there's going to be any riders up at 5 and 6 watts a kilo. It's the triple twist course. You've got two big peaks and lots of little punchy parts in between. It's just over 15 miles, as you can see, just under 15 to go. Quite a big lead in. And I thought, right, let's stay in the front pack. 55 riders, as you can see. Dave's the best bee in the business. I'm just reading there. So it's going to be highly competitive, or at least be 30, 40 strong AB riders. That's what I was learning as I started. But look, 275 average top left. That's typically slightly lower than what I've been doing in the Zwift Games. But I think the key is let's see what happens on this first big climb. Struggling to keep up with the A plus riders. I think that's a bit of comedy, a bit of sarcasm. I think there because this is not a quick pace. It will be telling when we get to that first climb. It's as simple as that. That's going to be, I think this route is about 700 feet. So let's say that's 250, this first climb, 250 feet. Let's see at what pace they're going over the crest and can I keep up? So it's a weird one. Saturday afternoon, so I've not been working, so arguably I've got a bit of an advantage there. Not been working all day, and I can just ride freely. Problem is, I'm not exactly up for this as a race. It's more of a practice. But you know what Zwift's like, and I think everybody's the same. You get on your bike and someone starts attacking, and it's just habit, isn't it? You just want to close them down. You want to race. So let's have a look anyway. So, nothing going on here for this first part. A lot of sarcasm here. It's not really competitive. Not if they're AB riders, let's put it that way. You've someone going off the front there. But it's all a bit of a cruise so far. The first 1.4 miles, done 50 feet of climb, approaching 4 minutes. And this is a classic. It does represent pretty much what a Zwift Games short race is, or the Tour de Zwift. It's under 15 miles. It's between 500, 800 feet, 500, 1,000 feet. Absolute typical distance. So a good practice for me. Look, if I can come top half, if there's strong A's and strong B's, I'm happy for a Saturday afternoon. There's no points at stake. That's crucial. And I guess that does affect your psychology because it doesn't really matter, which is good, but it's also a problem because when you're really having to push on these peaks, are you really going to push? Well, let's see. So it's all a bit of a cruise here. I like this triple twist course. These these two peaks are a test, and it's by no means that middle section. which I want to say is about 5 or 6 miles, perhaps a bit more. That's, it's not just a lay back. There's a couple of punchy climbs that you need to be on your game just to stay in your front pack. No one's cruising in that middle bit, and everybody's anticipating that second climb. There's big descents on either side of these, good for recovery. Or if you're not in the pack, you might be getting, and you're dropped on the climb, quite difficult if there's a group and a batch. There they go, the pack are just speeding up here. You can see I'm doing 270 watts with good draft and just staying in the pack. So it's just, I think these A and B riders, top B riders, they're treating it as a practice, I'm absolutely sure. A bit of a cruise, bit of a leg loosener. Looking afterwards, by the way, there were a couple of riders with 900 plus ZRS. That's what I'm talking about, advanced category. So to be in their company, that's good practice for me. Nicely positioned here. And look, everybody's anticipating. We're coming up now, probably half a mile, and then we're going to start this climb. I think it starts with a yellow, gentle introduction, and then it gets a bit serious. There's a steep peak, and then you're not on the descent. There's a little flat and a gentle push, and then you're over the top to the descent. That's going to be crucial. So it's all in this. Let's see what happens. Let's come through here. So I've got the drafting car, which would have been nice to have a feather. To be honest, people using theirs up here, knowing they'll get another at the top of this climb, another power up at the top of this climb. Sorry, I'm a bit incoherent here because I'm just thinking. 3 miles done, 70 feet completed, 203 calories, 232 average. So here we go. Look at the top graphic. Just a classic introduction to a climb. And there's a little orangey red punch. There you go. Some have gone off there. I'm putting what would be typical for me on a climb, starting on the yellow, 350 watts. Probably 5 watts a kilo. I'm reckoning they're putting, well, you can see 6 watts a kilo, 6.5 watts a kilo. I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. That's the difference. That's the difference right there. I can't keep up with that. I probably could, but I'll have nothing for the rest of the race. Look, I'm pushing it now. 7.5 watts of the kilo to keep up. And I'm right in the back bunch here of this. Looks like top 15, 16. We've been dropped there though. Look at that front bunch, probably 10, 12 riders. And it's taken a lot out of me. Look, they've gone now. 1, 2 seconds. There you go, dropped. That's the difference. I've put the drafting boost on here. Clever use of it. But you can see from the top graphic on the right, I reckon there's 10 riders that have gone. And then you've another 10 to 12 that I'm trying to catch up into. I can't let these get away. So I'll be toast. So let's put a push in here to get over the top of this. There you go. I'm not holding back. Almost 535 watts, 10%, 550 watts. Used all my drafting boost. Keep going right over the top here, over the crest. Yeah, there's another group gone. So I'm in the third group here, and there's 22 riders, 23 just powered through there. Right. I'm in the third group and we're settling. And then there's nobody behind as well, 5 or 6 seconds behind. Just make sure I do get into this group. Yeah, the front group are 8 seconds away, still pushing 6.3 watts a kilo. I guess because they're on the second peak and just about to do the descent. I've got these riders in front. I need to stick with this group. That's my target. It's obvious. I've actually gone through there. I don't know why they slowed up so much. Perhaps they'd lost a bit of energy. I don't know. But anyway, here we go. This will give me a top 25 finish, top half finish. Yeah, just staying at the front. We'll rein that rider in. There's a lone rider, and if you look right at the top graphic, I think groups 1 and 2 have merged. There is someone gone off. Someone trying to get back into our group as well, this third group, which will be. So, okay, we're going to be now in the second group. There's 20 riders in that first group, and one rider quite a way ahead of them, probably 3-4 seconds, and then you've got this group. That just shows you the difference from let's call it a good A rider and a very, very strong set of B riders. They were climbing at 7.5 watts a kilo consistently, whereas I'm putting 5 watts a kilo. For the majority, I did get to 7.5 watts a kilo, as you'd seen, but that was only for sporadic, incremental, moments, short little moments. Cruising here. So this will be the group I finish with. And these are good B riders. So I'm in good company here, averaging 246 watts. Now, last week and the week before, the Zwift Games, to give you an idea, for me, it's been averaging 260 roughly. Slightly smaller distance, to be fair, 2 or 3 miles less. So what's that? 5-10 minutes less. But I did average 264 for one of the Zwift Games. I think it was stage 1. Just ridiculous pace. So this is a really good practice for me, keeping me in the game. I'm going to probably race Tuesday evening after work. So that gives me Sunday and Monday to do other forms of exercise, but leave the legs alone. Get prepped for that stage 3. I haven't done a recce on stage 3, but that'll be Monday night, watching what other people have done, getting an idea of the course. I suspect, like stage 2 did, I'm anticipating it to be just a little bit tougher than 2 in length and elevation. Let's see. So 9.6 miles to go. Everybody's just settled into a rhythm here. What are we, 30 seconds behind that front group, I guess. They've gone, oh no, 15. Someone's dropped off the back. You can see 12 seconds. They've been dropped from that front, which I suspect we might. Let's have a look at who's that lone rider. Norax. I suspect we might catch that rider, given the distance, 9 miles to go, and we're a group. Punching up this climb into the volcano in a minute. I do like that little push, and then there's a left turn, a bit of a flat, and then you've got a little 25 feet push again. Keeps everything honest, this does. It's never really any relaxing, but this is just good practice. Just keep the legs winding round, 4 or 5%. I'll speed it up in a minute to get to that second and final big climb, which starts with a I think a little bit of yellow, then it gets steep. And the difficulty with this next one is you kind of feel it never really ends. You get to the crest, let's just speed this up. You get to the crest on the next one, and you go over, and you're still on a yellow little blooming gradient, which is annoying. And you think, when's this climb going to end? Working with a group here, look, the average is 244. Some little punchy ups and downs there. As we approach here, tiny bit of yellow, orange and red. I don't know why I'm sat at the front there, because every little draft would count, but look, we've not put it totally in here, averaging 244 watts. I'm at my 320 to 350 wattage, probably stand up on the orange shortly as we come around this curve, perhaps. Oh, there you go. Let's give it a bit more as we get to this steep bit. The important thing, I don't get dropped from this group, otherwise I'll be finishing 40 plus, which is not great for morale for me. Doing 500 watts there, stood up, just practicing standing up for a bit more, a bit longer duration. That will pay dividends in the Zwift Games. Because if you have to stay with the groups, well, actually, I think we're going to drop a few people on this initial climb. But you have a deceptive dip there, and you think, oh, it's all rosy, we'll have a bit of a break. And then there's a little punch, and that blooming yellow again. It's only 1 or 2%, but it's just, you can't sit down and relax and take your foot off the pedal. See, we've dropped a couple of riders back there. I'm at the front, so nice and comfortable. Pleased with that. 1 minute 19 ahead. 1 minute 20 the absolute top riders, and they've dropped 3 riders that are 1 minute 5 ahead of us. And then there's this Norax 38 seconds ahead up the road. And we're only 5 miles. I suspect that rider may well get to the finish without us catching. Let's see. See, we'll be able to really catch up on that descent if we're working together. Norax 41 seconds, I suspect, because they're on the descent now. But I think we'll be doing that quicker if we are as a group. We'll be literally going quicker in the draft for the same power. Again, the climb isn't over. You got this yellow and orange. It goes again. I'd forgotten there are quite a few blue dips though where you can rest. So put the power in. I think the other 2 rides have come into the back now. Enjoyable ride, I've got to say. Brenner, the Danish rider, going off the front. Let's get on their wheel. Nicely positioned. Yeah, held my own there. This is definitely the competitive group for me to be in. That first group, nah, way too quick for me. At this stage anyway. That's what I aspire to be. So not hanging around. Oh no, I'm doing 92 watts. Yeah, I just basically slowed right down there. Just need to be careful here. Yeah, there's no one attacking off. We know we've got the descent in a minute. There's a group of about, I want to say 10 riders, perhaps 20th to 30th, just as an estimation. I suspect that banner would go through, and then we're on a quite steep descent, so we can all have a rest. Perhaps we'll take 10 seconds back on Norax by the bottom of that, and then 30 seconds, 3.5 miles to go. We may or may not catch that rider. Let's see. I can push through there quickly. I had to up the pace. So I'm glad this route, this group, we're not just sitting pretty here. Putting a good effort in. Good steep descent. I don't know why I'm there. I need to get right in the there. As I thought, get in that draw. I'll try and pull, but let's stay up. Well done. Oh, there's a rider just had a go at the front. They dropped right off. Interesting. Flying now, 42 miles an hour, going on a descent of 7%, 8%. So yeah, we'll catch up to what had I guessed. Catching Norax will be 30 seconds behind. Let's just forward this. Oh, there we go. Ah, no, 55 seconds behind Norax. What's gone on there? 56. He's putting 5.5 watts a kilo, that's why. Respect. Riding on, that rider is on their own, pushing 5.5 watts a kilo, so that's why we're not catching him. 57 seconds ahead. Not going to catch, no chance of catching him. Okay, so I want to be at the front, ready for the sprint. And if I can be doing 500 watts sustained, that'll be a good bit of sprint practice for me. And as I said, top 25, please. That'll be a good finish. Yeah, this 35-minute, the Zwift Games has been just a little less than that. But I suspect the course will get longer with certainly stage 4 and 5, as I understand. It's been really successful, the Zwift Games, I've got to say. I think the interest and the demand from riders who wouldn't ordinarily be racing, just look at the numbers. I think there's an excitement. You look at the comments on other YouTubers when you publicising these Zwift Games races, and there's a genuine enthusiasm and real interest in it. I've not seen anything like it. The Tour de Zwift was good, but I suspect that was more hardened Zwift riders, Zwift racing riders. I think the Zwift Games has attracted individuals that perhaps aren't racing every week on Zwift, and I think looking at how stage 2, from what I've seen and the racing times I ride, the numbers have been at least the same, if not more. So I think, yeah, it's a real good kind of product Zwift have come up with there, the Zwift Games. Perhaps it's a pity it's just 6 weeks. I think that's what it is, 6 stages. But anyway, let's get back to this. Just under a mile to go. As I said, I reckon this is perhaps, well, I was 19th there. So 18th place to, I'm going to say 30, 35. We're all bunched together. Top 25 I want to be. So I've got, I've got the feather power up. I wonder if anybody else has got a power up. I need to be careful here. Because look, if I get just dropped by sitting down, or they're taking advantage, I'm not going to be able to catch them sprinting, because they're all going to be 600-700 watts, and I'm 550 after a race, after this sort of distance. So I need to be at the front-ish. There you go. So I might have to take a bit of pain here, but at least I can react quickly. That is the plan. What have we got? 1 minute 24, that front group. You can see a couple of people, 55, 50 seconds. In a good position, 0.4. It's a flat race to the banner. Classically, I suspect those front groups have almost finished. Yeah, they have. Look, they're doing 0 watts. A couple are just finishing. Ah, they've gone off there. Cheeky. Point 2. Using the arrow and the feather. Right, I've used it. I was a bit slow to react there. Let's see. Come on, power, power. 5, 6, 7. Keep going, keep going. 6:05. I'm pleased with that. 6:13. Brilliant. So for me, that's a fantastic sprint for me. That is. They're about 5 drop. Yeah, 24th. I reckon there were 5, 6 to 30th. Yeah, look at the top 5. 4.3, 4.4 watts a kilo. Different class. Look, if you enjoyed that, I will see you at Zwift Games Stage 3. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.